Lots of college basketball chatter as we get into bracketology, brought to you by Upwork. Now, Tim Doyle has been on a heater the last couple of days. Look at this, 8-1-1 against the spread. Now, you don't
He's not
like
sending me these picks.
You don't like to brag because you don't want to upset the gambling gods.
You do brag.
But we're doing it for Tim, so he doesn't have to worry about running out of any luck because we're doing it for him, and we're going to continue getting picks from him. Here are the big tournaments that are starting today. The Big Ten getting underway, the Big 12, the Pac-12, and the SEC, of course, all four part of the Power Six in college basketball. All right, so let's get some Power Six picks from our wagering guy, Tim Doyle. There he is. Tim, welcome to the show.
Monopoly.
He's ready to go. Okay, Tim, let's start with Xavier. Didn't exactly end the season playing their best basketball, lost 7 of their last 9 games, but here they are as the favorites over Butler with the total just over 130. Where are you settling in terms of looking at this one?
You know, I have the red coat on because I've been on fire. Yes, I have been, okay? And when you win, you get on the mountains and you scream from the mountains. And when you lose, you don't say anything. You hide in the corner, okay? So as I'm hot right now, jump on board because I'm feeling good. Feeling good, Lewis. I would not lay points in this game. I know that this is a must-win game for Xavier, but the wheels are coming off and they are coming off quickly. Reading all the headlines across Cincinnati, it's like, is this Travis Steele's last year there? He's never been to a tournament as the head coach of Xavier, and they have very high standards. Obviously, they got great basketball history. These two programs, interesting enough, know each other really well. It goes back to the Thad Matta days. He was once the head coach of Butler and then became the head coach of Xavier. There are so many ties between Lavelle Jordan, his coaching staff, and Travis Steele and his coaching staff. They recruit essentially the same players, and last time they matched up, it was a 2-point game. I think conference tournaments, guys, are the hardest things to handicap because you don't know who's motivated. And sometimes the pressure can be a little bit too much. You check out the last 6 games for Xavier. I mean, their only win is over Georgetown, and Georgetown has beat nobody. So it doesn't even count as a win. So the wheels have completely fallen off for Xavier. I don't know how you lay 5.5 points. I think this is going to be a nip and tuck game, and I think the points are going to be the difference. I'll take the dog.
Yeah, they beat Butler twice in the regular season by a combined 17 points. But as you mentioned, you know, form coming into a big tournament is something obviously that you want to pay some attention to. St. John's split their season series with DePaul, beat them by 5, and then lost to them by 5. That last loss was part of a season finish that saw them drop 3 of their last 4. The Red Storm sitting as 5-point favorites here, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that kind of odd, right? They both won on their home court, both by 5 points. So I really think that this line should be a pick'em. And last out was an excellent game between DePaul and St. John's. It was a game that was high scoring. It was fun to watch. And I know these programs. Oh, do I know these programs? I know the Big East Conference Tournament. Yes, there I was. In that game, you did not see this. I had 36 points in layup lines. I hit a 3 and then a cheerleader threw me a pass. I made a layup under the basket. I was killing it before the game. I mean, I remember a ball hit me in the head. I scored. I looked to my teammate. I go, is that an N1? He goes, it's still layup lines. It doesn't count. So obviously, it did not last long there at St. John's. I know these programs really well. They have 2 stars on each team. Javon Freeman Liberty's averaging 22 points a game. And last out against St. John's, he had 39 points. He could really score. DePaul's actually playing pretty well. I think that this game should be a pick'em. I feel like I'm getting a massive edge there with 5 points. If I had to decide where was a better place to party, because DePaul was only about 25 minutes from Northwestern, I'm going to say DePaul, Jeremy. Favorite bar on the DePaul campus, Irish Eyes. And the reason why, they had a rug on their floor. I don't know who designed the building there, but at a college bar, I mean, you know those college bars you go into where your feet stick to the ground? I remember leaving one night, barely remember, and they were vacuuming the rug. I was like, now this is funny. It still stands out in my mind 20 years later. I think there's an edge there getting the points. I'm going to take the dog again.
I don't think I've ever been in a bar that has a carpet in it, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair with you, to be honest. And by the way, Jack, can we see that picture again? Tim, it looks like you were photoshopped into that photo. Like, does that not look like he's photoshopped in there? Tim, I believe you, but it almost looks like you were photoshopped into
That's real?
Into that photo. Yeah, that's real. That's Tim. He's on the bench right there. He had a heater that night. Blue Demons won 3 of their last 4, by the way. All right, Seton Hall finished the season 20-9. Georgetown, we talked about them, 6-24. 19 of those losses coming in a row ahead of this tournament, as you mentioned. I mean, they've lost to everyone. Questions about Patrick Ewing's future there. For now, he's trying for the big upset here. 11 points really doesn't seem like enough here, Tim, given how bad Georgetown has been this season.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this. They've played twice this year, 2 Seton Hall wins, but both were inside this number. Actually, both were pretty close games. It was a 7-point win in D.C. and most recently a game that went right down to the wire. I don't know how you bet this game. This is one of those games that it's like Mustafa from Austin Powers. If you say I hate this game 3 times, you start to love this bet. Like, I hate this game, I hate this game, I hate this game. How am I going to bet it? I'm going to bet Seton Hall on the money line. You can only put it in a parlay. Like, if you want to watch the game, if you're a Seton Hall fan, Georgetown's not getting their first win. You can't lay minus 622 because that's completely insane and it blows off your week. But sometimes you just like to have a sure win, and I'm confident Seton Hall has won 5 straight games, that they ain't losing to a Georgetown team that's given up almost 80 and scoring almost 70. But I think Patrick Ewing has a good sales pitch, even though this will be his last season on the sideline. I repeat, his last season on the sideline. Last year, they had some magic, and he's back in the arena where his jersey hangs in the rafters, and I used to take a train in as a 9-year-old. I don't know how my parents let me do this. I would take Long Island Railroad into Madison Square Garden to watch Patrick Ewing, and they would give me $20, and I'd get a hot dog and knish platter. If you have not had a knish, you've never lived. A little spicy mustard there. But Seton Hall figures out a way to win this game. I think it's a hard game to handicap.
Tim, were they always surprised when you came back?
Maybe they didn't want me to.
Yeah, during their 19-loss streak, by the way, Georgetown lost by double digits 11 times, and they are 11-point dogs to Seton Hall here. All right, let's go to the Big 12, where it is Kansas State, essentially a pick'em. You talk about pick'ems to start the day over West Virginia. They lost 5 straight heading into the tournament. Where are you leaning in this one?
You know, the way I would describe Kansas State right now is they're like a wounded zebra. Like, they're still a zebra, but they have like a bad hoof. And they've lost a bunch of games in a row, 5 straight. West Virginia is playing horrible. They've lost 8 of 10. Another game that's like, I don't know what to tell you. And Bruce Weber, more than likely, this is his last year on the sideline for Kansas State. Here's the thing about Kansas State. They're almost very good. Like, they have lost so many close games. You know, in the non-conference, close losses to Marquette, Illinois, Arkansas, those are all tournament teams in my eyes. And then they open up conference season. They lose 3 out of their last 4, all by a bucket. So I know it's a lot of games to turn around, 6 games. But my point is, they can compete with anybody on any given night. That, for me, is going to be enough in a game that, once again, like, both these teams are not going to see postseason play. Both these teams are hovering around 500, a game or 2 below. What are they really playing for? As for Bruce Weber, he said this when he was the Illinois coach. He goes, it's not a rivalry when we play Northwestern because we beat them every time. Oh, Bruce, you were right.
Yeah, when they split the season series, by the way, West Virginia won the first game by 3, K-State winning the second game by 5. So you talk about close games, there were some close games between the two. All right, in the Big Ten, let's talk about Northwestern. Beat the Cornhuskers twice by double digits. But Nebraska won 3 straight coming into the tournament, including beating 2 ranked teams in Ohio State and Wisconsin. I mean, Tim, this is a tricky one here.
You know, your setup is amazing, and it's something I do in all my games. I like to build up the storyline, right? Northwestern's beating the Cornhuskers twice, but Nebraska is playing their best basketball this season. Jeremy, St. Louis, it's simple. Something's got to give. Something does have to give here, okay? I just think Northwestern's much better. I've never seen Northwestern up 30 points in a game. And yes,
there he is.
There I was donning the 0-0. That shot did not end up in a very good place because that guy guarding me ended up being the #1 pick in the draft, Greg Oden. But how did they honor me? They retired my number in the rafters. Well, not so much. They have the mascot wear. So, you know, like, how many little kids have I affected their lives in a positive way? How many smiles have I put on kids' faces? No, I'm not inside the costume there. But when you see Willie the Wildcat...
Oh, you should be. You should be, Tim. I would pay money for that.
I'm not kidding. I smelled one of those mascot things. They smell horrible. And I was shocked to see who was in it. Like, I don't know why. I always feel like mascots on the inside have to be smiling because they're smiling with their head, but they're not. Like, sometimes they're pretty pissed off. But you don't see that, which all you see is the mascot head.
But, Tim, you've been on the carpet in college bars. Like, what's the difference? What smells worse? I mean, you might as well just sit in a hockey bag.
Ooh, what smells worse? Great question there. I just think Northwestern is much better than Nebraska. Hats off to Nebraska. They gave a vote of confidence to Fred Hoiberg. The kids have gone out there and responded with 3 really impressive road wins. But I think Northwestern has their number, and I've never seen Northwestern up 30 points in a conference game. They were up 30 this year earlier against Nebraska.
Northwestern won just 2 of their final 7 games, by the way. Let's finish up with the afternoon game between Boston College and Wake Forest. Second round of the ACC tournament. Demon Deacons, part of Jerry Palm's first 4 out. We spent a lot of time talking about them in our last segment. They've won 3 of their last 4, including 2 blowout wins coming into the tournament. Boston College blew away Pitt in their opener Tuesday. Give us your expectation here.
I would not lay points with Wake Forest. I think that everyone's going to go out there and bet Wake Forest because this is a must-win game. They played earlier this year. It was a 30-point win for Wake Forest. You know, this is a game where BC can go out there and just kind of play. They already have the advantage of playing in the arena, recognizing the rims, playing with the ball. There is something to be said for that. And I think that Wake Forest is going to win, but I'm not going to lay 9.5, 10 points. Like, this is one of those, like I said with Seton Hall. You want to watch the game? You want to throw it in like a 5-teamer? Hey, parlays are hard to hit. So I always like to pick out one game that I feel like, all right, well, that's definitely going to win. And then I can kind of build on from there. Wake Forest had a great year. They rewarded their head coach, Steve Forbes, with a contract extension. Alondis Williams is the player of the year in the ACC. Like, you can't lose this game, right? But there's no way I'm going to lay points. So money line parlay only. And let's just keep the wins going, Jeremy. You know what I mean? Do the creepy hands. Let's do it. Let's stay hot.
Yeah, Amanda's. Yeah.
Those are the worst.
She's on her phone. Tim, we took the crunch the numbers here, and we did a money line parlay for you.
Ooh, yeah.
With Wake Forest, Seton Hall, Northwestern. I mean, look at those odds, minus 105. It's not too bad.
Can't lose, won't lose. Can't lose, won't lose.
He is CBS Sports wagering expert Tim Doyle, giving us the college basketball plays for Wednesday as tournament play heats up, heading into Selection Sunday. Good stuff, TD. All right, let's recap the picks. I mean, we did the money line parlay, but let's recap the picks. Those are the teams that are in the parlay there as well. Seton Hall, Northwestern, Wake, Butler, Xavier, take Butler, take DePaul, Seton Hall, Kansas State at -1.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.